sit down, we'll make a start again. And so, my name is Otene Rewati, and my role in tonight is to open our conversation up again, just with a short blessing, and to acknowledge our guest that has arrived here from the UK. I will welcome her in our Māori language, in the language of chiefs. So to acknowledge her, we'll do a little welcome. So, nō reira, tēnā koutou katoa. We'll just start, and I know there'll be people moving around, but that's fine. So the karakia that I will do tonight is again the karakia for the baskets of knowledge. And as you know, there's a proverbial saying, "Nau te raurau, nā ku te raurau, ka ora ai te iwi." With your basket of knowledge and my basket of knowledge, the people will thrive, the people will live. And so today, as we fill our baskets with some more conversations that are happening tonight, those baskets will be used to make Tāmaki Makaurau a better place. Your part again in this karakia is when you hear the phrase "tūturu whakamaua kia tina." Your response is "tina." So, okay, here we go. "Tūturu whakamaua kia tina." Okay, yes, Tina's quite dead. Tina sounds a bit tired after 5, a bit run down, but we need Tina to be on her game. So Tina needs to be here at 6 o'clock, so we're calling out to Tina. So we'll do that again. "Tūturu whakamaua kia Tina." That's a better Tina. I'll turn up to that Tina rather than the other one. Tina, haumia huia, and your response is "tai kie." So normal responses, so if you come, you'll know. Those are our responses for this. 1, I know that you're awake. 2, that you haven't fallen asleep during my karakia. And 3, all that means is let it be, let it happen. I agree with that. So here we go. Kei noi tātou, let us give thanks. Our karakia begins. Tēnei au, ko te hōkai nei taku tapu ai. Ko te hōkai nuku, ko te hōkai rangi, ko te hōkai ato tūpuna tāne nure ārangi. I pikiti ai ki ngā rangi tū haha ki te tihi o manono. I roko hinga tū rā, ko i o matua kore ana ke. I rirui hoana nā kete o te wānanga. Ko te kete tūri, ko te kete tuatea, ko te kete aranui. Ka tiritiri a ka paupaua ki a papatūnuku. Ka puta te ira tangata ki te whai au, ki te ao marama. Tūturu whakamaua kia Tina. Haumi e hui e, tai kie. Nō reire ngā mana i ngā reo, rauranga tirama. Haere mai, nau mai, ki tēnei wāhi, me ki ana mātou i ngā rā o mua, ko korokota tēnei, korokota. Engari, i roto tēnei rangi, ka ki au haramai ki Tāmaki Makaurau. Tāmaki herenga waka, Tāmaki herenga tangata, Tāmaki ko karanga nei kia koutou. Nau mai, haramai, whakatau mai. Haramai, i roto te taipari, te taitimu o te wai te mata, e haere ki tā wāhi, e hoki mai te rā, mai te moana. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi ki a koutou kua tā mai. E te manuhiri tuarangi kua tā mai. Nau mai, hara mai, whakatau mai. Mauria mai, ngā kete mātauranga, ngā kete kōrero o ngā mātua o ngā tūpuna, hei hinaki mā tātou. Nō reira, i roto tērā ka huri taku reo. Greetings this evening, and welcome to this place that we call Tāmaki. Tāmaki Makaurau, the place where the waka gathered, and we can see all the beautiful boats out here. Tamaki, the place where people gather. And we're gang people are gathering here this evening to start another conversation. And so we welcome you here. We welcome you once, twice, 3 times, and especially from our traveller from afar. We welcome you to this land, to this place. My people used a saying of Ngāti Whātua, he aha te hau e wawara e wawara. He tiu, he raki, he tiu, he raki. Nāna ia mai te pupu taraki hi kiuta, e tiki nā tu e au te kōtu. Ko ia te pau whakairo ka tū ki te waitemata. What is this wind of change that is blowing from the northeast? And so today, in my welcome, I say, what is this wind of change that is brought? And it is you who come here to talk to us and bring the models of the United Kingdom amongst us today, the healthy streets, and to begin a conversation with us today. So welcome once, welcome twice, welcome 3 times. Nō reira, i ngā mana, i ngā reo, rauranga tirama. Huri no tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. I'll let Ludo sing the song for you later on, I'm sure, so I'm going to hand over to you, Ludo, is that right? So, nau mai, ara mai, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
Thank you, Attorney. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ludo Campbell-Reid, and on behalf of the Auckland Conversations team, a really warm welcome to tonight's Auckland Conversation. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the General Manager of the Auckland Design Office. I'm also Council's Design Champion. And Auckland Conversations is an exciting program, and it provides the opportunity to inspire, to educate, to upskill, and I guess stimulate your thinking. So that's really the aim of tonight in terms of the future challenges that Auckland is facing. And tonight we're really, really privileged to welcome a public health specialist, Lucy Saunders, and some panellists as well to talk about healthy streets for Auckland. So that's obviously the theme for this evening. Thank you for all of you for turning up. It's a really great crowd. There's about 450 of you. Thank you to the councillors. I see Councillor Chris Darby's here tonight. Pippa Coombe is here from the Waitemata Local Board, and of course Councillor Richard Hills is also here to be part of the panel discussions later on. Look, first a few housekeeping issues. In the unlikely event of an emergency, an alarm will sound and will be directed by the team out of the building and by the ushers as well. Bathrooms are located just outside of the room, just through the doors to the left and to the right. And finally, if you would be grateful, I mean, you can keep tweeting and so forth, but please turn off your phones and the notifications because that can be a bit disruptive. So I think I better turn mine off here before I trap myself. So look, on to tonight, let's talk. We'd like to firstly thank Auckland Transport in particular, and also especially their walking and cycling team led by Catherine King and her fantastic group there who we've partnered with tonight to bring you tonight's conversation. I also want to thank Boffa Miskell as well, who are our sponsors for tonight's Auckland Conversation. Also our grateful thanks to our Auckland partner, Southbase Construction, our design partners, Resine, and all our programme supporters. So look, the theme of tonight, or the outline or the order of events this evening is what we'll do is we'll have a keynote speech from Lucy, our guest, followed by a 20-minute panelist conversation, which was an idea we thought we'd bring to the conversation to get the juices flowing and to get the discussion going. So I'll be joined on stage by some panelists, and I'll introduce to you those people in a few minutes. And we'll also be coming up for questions to the floor, a way to engage the team who've turned up tonight. We've got a range of ways to do that. There's the traditional put your hand up and we'll find you with a microphone. But what the team have come up with is a really cool new sort of system called Slido. And Slido is an interactive Q&A tool for audience participation. If you've got a smartphone, we encourage you to visit slido.com. So that's slido.com. Enter the event code, which is #healthy. So #healthy. and you can ask your question, and those questions all get put onto a slideshow, which I can see on an iPad, which I'll be given as part of the panel discussion. Submit your questions, and we'll do our best to get through as many of those questions to you and get the conversation going. So that's fantastic. So that's really how we're going to run that. Also, please keep tweeting and keep using the hashtag AKL Conversations. And lastly, it's really important, we've got a Universal Design Conference coming up in September, but we always try to ensure that the Auckland Conversations events are inclusive and accessible. So on-demand viewing of the event is happening now, live streaming around the world. I know a lot of people from all over the world, UK, Canada, US and France, who phone me to say they're going to tune in with a glass of wine somewhere in the world listening in. So kia ora to everybody from around the world. But it's a really great way to keep that conversation going. And for those of you in Auckland who couldn't be here tonight, welcome too. But that full transcript of the presentation this evening will be, and as well as captioning of the event, will be available on the Auckland Conversations website in the next few days. So that's really how we're going to run the program. So look, very quickly, let's get to the main course for tonight. But just tonight's conversation about healthy streets. I mean, it's like many global cities, Auckland is not dissimilar. We're facing significant health challenges. The rates of obesity are climbing, diabetes is growing, the number of children walking to school and cycling to school is declining dramatically. You know, we're all suffering from poor mental health, and so there's a really big implication and impact and connection between all these things. It's a system of things. Oddly enough, I wanted to be a doctor when I was 18, and I don't know, maybe I just wasn't intelligent enough or whatever it was, but I ended up becoming an urban planner. And you know what, oddly enough, 25 years later, I think that the link between urban planning and being a doctor, I couldn't do that, but my team and I, we feel like we're sort of almost GPs of the city, and I think that link between public health and urban planning and cities could not be more relevant. So tonight's conversation is really apt and really important. So before we introduce our speaker tonight, I'd like to introduce Lisa Mean. Lisa is a principal planner, urban designer at Boffa and Boffa are our official sponsors for this evening. She's going to give us an official welcome for Lucy. Lisa's worked as an urban designer and urban planner in New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and also the Republic of Ireland since 1994. Her experience spans a range of areas, including a particular emphasis on designing and facilitating innovative consultation and community participation processes. She also has worked on large-scale master planning, town centre regeneration strategies, urban design, design guidance, as well as conservation and heritage planning. Lisa's a great friend of ours, our team, and it's a privilege to have her here tonight. So Lisa, please come to the stage, and please give her a warm round of applause.
Tēnā koutou. I'm delighted to be here on behalf of Boffa as the major sponsor of tonight's Auckland Conversation. Wow, this really echoes, it's quite weird. Healthy Streets for Auckland. As both an urban designer and a mother, the relationship between the public realm and urban form is of keen interest to me. When I returned to Auckland in 2004, after several years living and working as an urban designer and urban regeneration specialist in the Northern Hemisphere, urban design was becoming increasingly socialised within the built environment professions. The Auckland City Urban Design Panel had recently been established, and the Ministry for the Environment published its first urban design protocol, setting a national framework for quality urban design. Fast forward to 2018, Auckland is growing up. We're still learning from overseas, but we are developing our own urban design vernacular, reflecting our place here in the South Pacific. There is a greater acceptance of the value of high-quality public realm design in urban areas, as witnessed by the throngs of people enjoying the waterfront, Britomart, and the shared spaces and open places throughout Auckland city centre. We have bought into the vision of Auckland becoming the world's most livable city. And as built environment professionals, we want to make that happen, and we apply that vision to the work that we do. As design practitioners, we know that good urban design can help to make places safer and more secure, and can motivate people to undertake physical exercise, in turn creating health benefits. This is common sense to most of us in this room. However, recent research investigating the economic value of walking in Auckland city centre, which included Bofema School's case studies applying Transport for London's Valuing the Urban Realm toolkit, demonstrated that transport projects that deliver public realm and walkability benefits have lost out to projects that don't do so because of the way in which transport projects have traditionally been evaluated here in New Zealand. Given the historic emphasis on providing for motorised transport, it's not surprising, as Ludo was saying, that the rate of obesity is increasing and the number of children walking and cycling to school has been declining for several years, disproportionately so in lower socioeconomic areas. We're now at a critical tipping point. Both local and central government have strong directives to increase active transport. Recent projects that Bofema School has been fortunate to be involved in for Auckland Council and Auckland Transport, such as Te Aramua Future Streets in Mangere, the Waterview Shared Path and Waitemata Safe Routes, are confirming what most designers already suspected, that making streets and neighbourhoods safer and more appealing for people to walk and cycle leads to increased active transport and consequently improvements in health. Te Aramua Future Streets in particular is a great example of collaborative working between public health and built environment professionals, and is well aligned with the work Lucy Saunders has been doing. Such projects showcase the benefits of improving the quality of the built environment, strengthening connections, and improving safety in areas where the greatest impact can be felt. We must design our cities and towns for all people, and when I say cities, I don't just mean the popular inner city destinations, but our suburbs too, those places that tourists don't go, places for real people. We must design healthy streets that encourage people to walk and cycle. Collectively, we have a responsibility to create places that are safe, attractive, vibrant and conducive to health and well-being for present and future generations. To this end, we're very privileged to host Lucy Saunders, who developed the Healthy Streets approach and the 10 Healthy Streets indicators, and has valuable lessons to share that we can all adopt into our design practices.